My experience with the IB has been as a head of school for 20 years. And in addition to that, I've been the grandfather of an IB child that started in one of our very first authorized IB kindergartens. So he's been an IB student all the way through and has graduated from high school now. And so I've watched the changes, and only in him, but the kids that I've taught in school, but in my own family as well. And so it's something I believe in on a professional level, and it's something I believe in on a personal level. Changes that the IB has brought to our school, when I first became the principal of the school, Lamar High School, where I am now, it was an established diploma program. It was very small, like a lot of older traditional American schools, very small, and a very small number of kids involved in a large school. It was about the time I came there that the middle years program was first established. So we became one of the first middle year schools in the country. And what it's brought to our school is something that we talk about across the United States about transforming education for all kids. And it truly has done that. It has helped us become a school that reaches all of our students, regardless of their background, regardless of the things they bring with them. It's simply put, good education packaged together in a way that makes sense that schools can implement if you are truly trying to reach all of your kids. So the benefits and things that IB brings to our school and our kids, I would have to say, again, it is good educational practice that we've known for many years, but for a great number of reasons in American culture, we don't do. It incorporates not only the high standards of curriculum, but why do we study? It creates thinkers out of our kids. It is the whole interdisciplinary as well as the whole action piece and dimension that it brings to kids. It takes us from a society or for students, from a society of just spewing back facts and figures to being able to take knowledge and create with it. And that has been the benefit that it's brought to our community, our kids. We're a whole school model. All of our teachers are trained. Every kid that we have understands that they are an IB student, and we're a school of almost 3,300 kids. So it's a way of being for us, and our community sees it that way. Our community respects the diversity, the respect for diversity, the respect for different cultural backgrounds that it brings. We have people who choose to come to our school because they'll tell you that they don't want their children to grow up handicapped. What does that mean? Well, that means that they only know how to get along with one group of children. They realize that, and the parents tell us all the time, they realize that the world their kids are going into is different. And for them to be successful, they have to embrace the world. And that's a huge piece of what IB brings to our community. When I think of international mindedness, I'm reminded of the IB mission statement. My favorite part of the IB mission statement is to consider that other people with their differences may also be right. I think if we stop and reflect for just a moment about what that statement means, that means that there are a lot of us, very different individuals, who live on the only planet that we know of that can sustain life presently. We are in this together, and we have to respect the fact that what is reality to me and what's important to me because of my culture may be different from someone else, but their reality and their culture is just as right to them as mine is to me. So instead of fighting one another over the differences of our cultures, we have to become much better at finding ways to respect one another's differences and to coexist and to work together to make the world a better place for all of us instead of a place of conflict. And I think that's the true essence of international mindedness and what we should be teaching our young generations. For any school that's considering becoming a part of the IB, they have to first understand that this is not a certificate to put on the wall. If you want a certificate to put on the wall, there are other organizations you can apply to. IB is a way of being. It's a way of living. It requires that faculty, staff, heads of school included, model the learner profile. What does it mean to be a part of an IB community? I need to be the individual that models that for my students. So the first advice that I would give them is examine yourself as a school leader, examine your own values, examine your school. Look at the IB mission statement, look at the learner profile. Is that something that you agree with? Is that something that you think is good for your kids? If it is, then the work that you will do in the IB, it will be natural for you. It will be something you will buy into. If you're looking for a certificate to put on the wall, go somewhere else. IB is a way of being. So for anyone considering becoming an IB school, the first thing that I would tell you is to examine yourself and examine the mission statement and the learner profile of the IB. They have to consider first that IB is not a certificate to put on the wall. IB is a way of being. If you're looking for a certificate to put on the wall, there are many other organizations that you can go to, and they'll check boxes for you and they'll give you a certificate to put on the wall. As an individual, as a school leader, you have to buy the philosophy. You have to agree that this is good for children. I do it because I believe absolutely in my core that this is good education for all the children that are in my school, and that's why I'm there. I work too hard to do anything else. So my advice would be, look at what it requires. What are we requiring of kids? As the school leader, I have to be those things. If I'm not willing to model what I'm expecting students and faculty members to do, then I won't be successful. So examine the mission statement, examine the learner profile. Is that something that you agree with? Is it something that you think is good for all children? If you do, then the IB everything is ready, everything is put together. It's what we should be doing in school reform. If that's not something you agree with, then go find a certificate to put on your wall.